I know math is not the Conservative Party of Canada's forte.
And the budget will balance itself.
So,
the cost of electricity between 15 and 17% and keep taxes low. Since taking office nearly 6 years ago, our government has never, ever raised a tax on people or businesses. We've seen revenue growth from companies like Asahi Kasei and other companies that drive revenues up. We have 700,000 people that are working today that were not working 6 years ago. In fact, we've reduced taxes for people and taken the burden off the backs of businesses by $8 billion each and every year. And folks, here in Ontario, we're going to keep working hard to create the environment and the conditions for companies like Asahi Kasei to thrive, prosper, and grow. We're going to keep the momentum going, attracting more EV investments and creating good-paying jobs with bigger paychecks in every part of our province. Once again, thank you for your investment and for your confidence in our province and our country, and most importantly, our workers. Thank you to everyone for joining us today, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Now I'll hand it over to the Canadians' #1 salesperson, Minister Champagne. These guys are, he's like the Energizer Bunny, I call him. He is going all over the place along with Vic, and I'll tell you, Prime Minister, we're fortunate we have two people like these two gentlemen. Thank you.
Wow. Good morning, everyone. It's great to be in Port Colborne. I would say another one done. So this is very, very good to be with all of you. A lot of work has gone into what we're celebrating today. So, je voudrais dire d'abord bonjour à tout le monde. Grand plaisir d'être ici à Port Colborne, en Ontario, pour une annonce qui va nous permettre de renforcer l'écosystème des véhicules électriques ici au pays. I think you've heard from the Prime Minister, you've heard from the Premier. Our vision with Minister Fedeli was really to make sure we build the entire supply chain. And this morning, as you see, is a key milestone in what we have achieved. And I was just telling Vic and the Premier before we got there, I don't know, but we see a lot of each other these days, and it's always good news, Premier. So I hope, there's more to come. That's the only thing I can say every time we're together. We're already planning. And it's good to once again be here together for, like I was saying, another great announcement as we move our common vision forward. Because this is really about vision. This is a vision where Canada is ambitious. This is a vision where Canada is leading, where Canada is winning. A vision where Canada is synonymous with best in class when it comes to the EV supply chain of the world. But before I go further, Monsieur le Premier Ministre, Prime Minister, I want to say thank you for your vision. Your vision led to the creation of jobs, good jobs, and jobs for generations, and this morning is a testament to that. Your vision to put Canada as the green supplier of choice to the world is paying dividends in communities after communities across our nation. And Prime Minister, I want to give you a big round of applause because...
How many scandals do you think Trudeau has had? I have another video over here showing how many, and it is a lot. And I think shame needs to be brought back into Canada because he has no shame anymore. And I think it just trickles down to everyone underneath him. And that's what's really frustrating about Trudeau. And as far as an election is concerned, obviously there should have been one a year ago. But do you think it'll really be in October 2025? Because his steam, like all he has to do is smile and for the camera, go on his vacations. There's going to be a new love in his life coming up, probably, because he has to, because he needs to take attention away from himself. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. Let's go back to the video.
Today, workers from generations from now will remember what we've done, and this is thanks to your vision, sir. It's true that Vic and I go around the world and make sure that people think about Canada, but it starts with a vision. And Premier Ford, I just want to say thank you again. You have been with us at every step of the way. I cannot think of a leader who has been pushing us again and again to make sure, and with my good friend Vic Fedeli, every time we're together, it's about opportunities and possibilities for our workers, and also making sure that we build our industrial base here in Ontario. And I must say, Premier, Now the world knows the words like St. Thomas, Windsor, and now Port Colborne will be celebrated. When you go to Tokyo, you're going to Seoul, you're going to Germany. It's a great moment for the community and the Niagara region. And I want to say thank you, Mayor and Chair. I think we're transforming the industrial landscape for generations to come. I want to say, acknowledge my colleague Vince Badaway. The Prime Minister said, a former mayor, if you want to see what a $1.6 billion smile looks like, just look at Vance behind me. You're going to get a glimpse of that. You know, this is the achievement of a lifetime. And I would say Vance and Chris Biddle, my friend Francisco Sobera, and Minister Tassi, and Manager Sidhu have been with us at every step of the way. I can assure you that Vance, every week that Parliament sits, Prime Minister has been asking me, where are we with the project of Asai-Kassi? I'm happy to say we have delivered, and thanks to his great work, we are here today. I also want to make sure that...
I know math is not the Conservative Party of Canada's forte.
And the budget will balance itself.
So,
to thank Kudo-san. Kudo-san, you have been the architect of what we're doing this morning. I remember your vision, and I want to say on behalf of all Canadians, and especially the workers who are going to be here, to say thank you. Thank you for your trust in Canada. Thank you for your trust in our workers. And certainly your personal commitment has made all the difference. The fact that you flew in today to make sure that we would start on a great footing, I want to say Kudo-san. You know, you're going to see Vic next week, and you're going to see me later on this summer. So we're going to be around the Canadians to make sure that this is a very successful moment for all of us. I also want to say to Matsuyama-san and Sam, we have developed this very special relationship. Matsuyama-san, I was saying to the Prime Minister that on Sunday I talk to you more often than my wife. You know, we have made sure over time, but even more recently, that we would be there today. And I want to say thank you, because in the last 48 hours and before, you have been instrumental in turning a vision into reality. And Matsuyama-san, I want to say thank you. And Ambassador Yamanuchi, you know, it's a great moment to be Japanese ambassador to Canada, because I must say, since we signed the MOU, the very first MOU that Japan signed with any country back in 2023 with respect to the battery supply chain, we have seen record investments coming in the country. So you've been presiding over a great moment between our two countries. As the Prime Minister said and the Premier, today mark another milestone, another link, a very key link of the battery supply chain that we're building here in Ontario and across Canada. This time it's about the very first lithium-ion separator plant, an investment of more than $1.6 billion to create a key component in the EV battery ecosystem, something that we have been working, Vic and I, to attract in our country. There is an EV revolution, I think we can all agree, happening around the world. And what is good news for people watching is Canada is leading it. We are the leaders in that transformation, and that's going to pay dividend for generations. You know that CEOs from around the world are well aware of what's happening here in Canada, and I would say in Ontario. They see what we have to offer, and I can tell you they all want to join. The phone is ringing because people realize what we have to offer. Demandez aux gens d'Asai-Kassi pourquoi ils ont choisi de venir s'installer à Port Colborne. Demandez-leur. Asai-Kassi a choisi de venir s'installer à Port Colborne parce qu'ils savent que le Canada est l'endroit par excellence quand on parle de l'industrie automobile du 21e siècle. Asai-Kassi a choisi le Canada pour la même raison que plein d'autres leaders de l'industrie choisissent le Canada. Whether it's Honda, our latest edition, whether it's Stellantis, Umicore, Ford, GM, EcoPro, Volta, Volkswagen, GM, POSCO, and SK, they all understand that the place to be today, if you want to be part of that industrial change, Canada is the place to be. And we're talking about $46 billion of investment that have come on our shore since 2020. And I would say, ladies and gentlemen, that's a record high. And this is thanks to the great people and our workers, because my first selling point is always about the people. Companies are choosing Canada because, as the Prime Minister said,
I know math is not the Conservative Party of Canada's forte.
And the budget will balance itself.
So,
know that we are the green supplier of choice when it comes to the EV supply chain. They know, and Premier Ford alluded to that we have very strong supply chain. They know that we have many parts manufacturers that can support their growth as they're looking forward. They know that we have critical minerals. In fact, we have all the critical minerals in the country to make sure that we have battery and semiconductor in a good part here in Ontario. They know that we have renewable energy as people are moving from electric vehicle to green vehicle. And they know that we have access to global markets. But first and foremost, they come here because they know that we have the best workers in the world. I know that, you know that, but I can tell you that the global manufacturers know that too. That is the first selling point when you're talking about Canada. Because at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it's always about people. That's what the Prime Minister was saying, and I'm inspired by the young students because Premier Ford was at Tim Horton. I was at the high school this morning chatting with the young folks, and I see some of them we met, and you could have seen the spark in their eyes when I was saying, we're building the future together with you. You can have great careers, and the principal is there. Congratulations, and the whole team. It's great to see you because this is about you. This is about your future that we're building. So in closing, ladies and gentlemen, let's seize the moment. Let's be ambitious, and let's make sure that we lead the auto industry of tomorrow from right here in Port Colborne, from right here in Ontario, from right here in Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here. Now it's my great honor to introduce my best friend and how we are building the industry of the future in this country. I would say my friend Vic Fedeli. The floor is yours.
And is Chrystia Freeland doing a good job? She is the finance minister and the vice president of Canada. And she is the one that just looks like her head is just spinning when she talks. It's always like trying to drag it on, never answer a question. And maybe they should have this I thought they would always do this. When they ask a question, say, do you mind after you finish it, if you give me 5 seconds to say if you answered it or not for our listeners, because it is so frustrating. Everything is an infomercial with both of them. And that's something that I think needs to be stopped. Maybe the whole Constitution and the human rights and everything needs to be rewritten again after those two are gone, because this is just frustrating what they're doing. Anyway, let's go back to the video.